A couple weeks ago, well, during J-term, we had some students go to India, and when they came back, a few of them ended up having head lice. And once it was found, they started treating the floors that the girls were on that had lice. But since, we're such a tight-knit community, the lice started spreading around campus, and different dorms started getting it, including the dorm I live in, which is Livingston.
Singly, it's louse. They are mites that live on the head and other parts of the body too, but each one is individualized. There's like 3 different kinds depending, and they're named scientifically depending on what part of the body that you would find them on.
With the information that the university had, I feel like they responded in the best possible way that they could, finding out that there's potentially people with lice all over our campus. It's not the best news for anyone to hear, but as far as having no preparation for that coming and being able to respond by offering free treatments, quarters for laundry, a little bit of education on how to treat lice, I feel like the university has responded as best they can. And then students have taken that and have really cared for each other and helped each other through this process.
I had gone to health services on a Wednesday, and they told me like, no, you don't have lice, come back in a couple days just to be sure. So I came back on Friday and I got checked again, and they were like, yeah, you have lice. So Christy Bushnell, RD on Livingston, had diagnosed me, and had Grace McBriar double check me. And so they were like, yep, you've got some nits in your hair. So
I think maybe 4 girls on my floor had been diagnosed at that point by health services. And then I was about to go actually out of town that night, and a girl came to me and said, hey, will you check this girl's head? I think she might have lice. So I looked at her head, and she did, and then I checked some of her closer friends, and they ended up having the nits.
The eggs are called nits. You look for them no more than a centimeter down on the shaft of the hair. They have to stay close to the scalp in order to get the heat that they need to survive.
I checked probably for 8 hours looking for these nits. I would go up to Randy, and I would ask her if she could just flip her head down and then flip her hair over. Usually the nits are really located towards the base of this head, so you'd look down here first to check all these areas, and you just kind of carefully look through there. That's one area that they really like to hang around. And then after I check down here, I'd have her sit up, and then check along the ears. That's another place they really like to be. So I check to see if I see anything going on both sides of her ears. Check over here. And then the final place that they're really prevalent is up by the crown. So then I would kind of start looking back here and peel back different sections to check for them. And then once I can tell that she doesn't have any nits in her hair, I tell her she's clear. 1 o'clock in the morning and someone's asking me to start a treatment on them, we're really, if you're doing the treatment effectively, it's going to take a while. And that's nothing you want to rush through, but also you understand they're in the place where they don't want to go to bed with eggs in their hair. So some of those situations are a little challenging because you have to, you're still at school, you're still a student, you have to think about what you're here for, but at the same time, you want to be able to be there for your girls and be able to be helpful towards them and do a good job of helping them.
I just feel like the attitude has been one of graciousness and service towards each other, and I don't know that is something that would happen on any campus. I think it's been a really cool thing to see here.
I don't know, maybe necessarily a hero. I think that there are a lot of people who stepped up and did a lot of great things for this process, and I do see how my piece, or part of that fits into the whole puzzle of it.